Welcome back, OCW. Today we'll be discussing. This is related to Chapter 5, Results-Oriented Government. For OCW, this is Week 5, Lesson 2. Big study links good teachers to lasting gain. On the syllabus is Week 6. Week 6. Okay, Friday. Okay, now. Did everyone read the study? You read it, right? Did anyone else? A bit, okay. It's a famous study. Let's go over this one by one, okay? As you know, our class emphasizes English speaking and writing. Okay, what's your name, Mr.
Che.
Okay, for the OCW audience. So the title, Big Study.
Big study links to good teachers to lasting gain. Elementary and middle school teachers who help raise their students' standardized test scores seem to have a wide-ranging, lasting positive effect on those students' lives beyond academics, including lower teenage pregnancy rates and greater college matriculation and other earnings. According to a new study that tracked 2.5 million students over 20 years.
Right, so this one study tracked 2.5 million students over 20 years, okay? Next, this study.
This study is the largest look yet at the controversial value-added ratings, which measure the impact individual teachers have on student test scores. Many school districts, including those in Washington and Houston,
Everybody say Houston.
Houston have begun to use value-added metrics to influence decisions on hiring, pay, and even firing. Supporters argue that such metrics hold teachers accountable and can help improve the educational outcomes of millions of children.
Okay, next, detractors. What's your name?
Yunhwan.
Okay.
Detractors, most notably a number of teachers' unions, say that isolating the effect of a given teacher is harder than it seems and might unfairly penalize some instructors.
Right. Do you understand? Do you understand this paragraph? Okay. So they were looking at value-added testing. What is value-added testing? We talked about this, right? Okay. Who knows what value-added testing is? Let's ask the guy in the back. Okay. Actually, I want them to see your handsome face. Come up here. The price is right. Hurry up! The audience is waiting. Come here. Okay. Handsome man, what's your name?
Lee.
Lee. Okay, Lee. Tokyo. 우리 땅 or no, just kidding. Or is it Takashima 땅? Alright, we won't ask you. Okay, now give us your name, Mr. Lee, right? Yeah. Now, what does value-added testing mean? Think about what it sounds like. Value added. Okay? So it's measuring how much value you added over a certain time. Okay? So that means you need how many tests? At least, how many tests do you need? You need to you need to test the student at least 4 times. Before the teacher and after the teacher. Okay? To see how much the student learned. Value added. Okay? Right. Because and then, as opposed to just measuring them once. Okay? And then for value added, teachers have an incentive to, usually the smart students in the front, they might be already smart. They might, maybe out of 100 points, they might score what? At the beginning of the year. If you're smart, you might score how many points out of 100? What? Imagine you're smart. So if you get a test, what would your score be out of 100? I guess you're not that smart, okay? But if you were smart, you might get like 90 points, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you understand? Those are usually A students. So, and if, let's say I was a great teacher and you learned a lot, so you might jump from 90 to what?
100.
Yeah, 100, because 100 is maximum. Do you understand? But let's say you're not that smart, okay? That means at the beginning you might get what? Instead of 90 points, you might get what?
20.
Oh, he's an idiot, okay? He only got 20 points. But let's say let's say I'm a great teacher, wonderful teacher, okay? That means at the end of the year, what is your total, what is the most you can improve? From 20, you can improve by how many points maximum? He's not that smart. 80. Okay, 80. Do you understand? So value-added testing, well, one thing is that it gives teachers big incentive to work with all students, smart and dumb. And actually with dumb students, you can make a bigger impact for VAT, value-added testing. Do you understand? Okay? But it is very controversial because why? Because some critics say we should not do value-added. Okay? Because why? Why would that be a bad idea? Can you read the last sentence? Detractors? Read it loud. Detractors?
Detractors, most notably a number of teachers' unions, say that isolating the effect of a given teacher is harder than it seems and might unfairly penalize some instructors.
Right, because some teachers will do a great job raising your test scores. Other teachers will not raise your test scores. Your test scores might actually go down. Do you understand? And so is it fair to compare the teachers? And the teachers union say, no, maybe it wasn't the teacher's fault. Maybe it was the parent's fault. Maybe it was something else. Do you understand? So they wanted to see, like, well, the researchers wanted to ask, does that really matter? Okay? If a teacher does raise student test scores, does it make a long-term impact? Do you understand? This is all in the lecture notes that I emailed you. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Yes, he's a handsome man, but he's already taken. Okay, so don't call him. Thank you. He's a CC, not an essay. What's an essay? Still available. Okay. Okay. Yeah. There's also like for older people. There's something called MBA. Right, married but available. That's terrible. Yes, don't be like that. Okay, next. All else equal, a student with one excellent teacher for 1 year will gain $4,600 in lifetime income compared to a student who had an average teacher. Okay? That means if you had a teacher who raised your test scores, you make more money or less money? More money, a lot more money, right? And the student with an excellent teacher will also be 0.5% more likely to attend college. Replacing a poor teacher with an average one will raise a single classroom's lifetime earnings by $266,000. Woohoo! Okay? Now, imagine that terrible teacher was teaching for like 10 or 20 years, okay? If you leave a low value added teacher in your school for 10 years, you're talking about losing $2.5 million in lost income. Do you understand? So, if you have a teacher that sucks, that means the teacher should what? Right, that teacher should not teach. In fact, you should give him maybe like $1 million to get out. Do you understand? Because even if you give him $1 million to get out, the economy gains what?
2.5.
Right, so net benefit would be, 2.5 minus 1 million would be what? 1.5. Ooh, good at math. Smart. Okay. So even if you give that bad teacher $1 million to get out, society will benefit $1.5 million more. Okay, so fire him or just give him a lot of money to get out. Okay, maybe give him, maybe not $1 million. Everybody don't want try to be a bad teacher, right? But maybe give him like $20,000 or $30,000 and say just get out. Okay, then maybe the teachers unions will say okay. All right, but that's big money. Okay, getting rid of a bad teacher. There is a, let me show you a nice diagram. Let me see. Okay, so I always email this to you so you can look at it after class or hopefully before class. You're supposed to look at this before coming, right? Now, so there's a nice graph, what happens, okay? And for OCW people, this is all in the lecture notes. So these were 3 professors, okay? 2 Harvard, 1 Columbia. And then they studied, so they worked on this for 20 years, okay? And as you can see, let's say like regular students, right? Okay, with average teachers, but once they get a high value teacher, boom, goes up. So one teacher makes a dramatic impact, okay? And then as I told you before, good teacher means that you make more money, you're more likely to go to college, and less likely to make baby when you're young, okay? So make lots of babies. Yes, after you get a job. Or so try to make a lot of babies 4 years from now, not tomorrow, okay? So make a lot of babies 4 years from now. Sounds good? It's good for Korea. Japan too. You need lots of babies. So you can. So what? Okay, don't make any babies. Okay, but you need a lot of babies. Send them to Sansaku. You can say Sansaku, 우리 땅. Okay. It's China, Japan. They call it. Oh, Senkaku. My Japanese is not that good. This is Japanglish. Senkaku. Or Chinese call it Diada. What? Diada. He sounds like Bruce Lee. Joe. It's like Diada. That sounds like you killed my cousin. Okay. Oh,
in island. In Chinese word, 钓鱼 means fish.
What does Sansaku mean? What does Senkaku mean?
Senkaku is contained from the hour.
I know, but does it have meaning?
Not sure what exactly means.
Maybe just means 우리 땅. Okay.
Yeah.
Not your 땅. Okay. Alright. So you understand, right? So this is a big study. This is what smart people have to do. Okay. So find good evidence. Okay. Now. But again, we talked about this in class, right? Because with value-added testing, teachers have an incentive to teach students in the back, not in the front. Okay? Because in the front, you're already smart, at most, I could only raise your scores by 10 points. But the ones in the back, big improvement, right? And also, if I raise those people in the back, that makes a bigger impact on the economy, right? Because they're more likely to make money, go to college, get a job, make good babies, not kill anybody. Okay, no, you see? Whereas people in the front, I'm not gonna make that much of an impact on you. You're already smart. Okay? Alright. Now, but like in Korea, the problem is that, oftentimes they just focus on the smart kids, right? And they don't really work on the kids in the back. Okay. Let me see now. Okay. And then there's some other examples too. We talked about measuring, right? But again, think about what is the result that we want. Okay? For students, we want students to what? So, let's say you're in high school, right? What do you want to do? What's your plan? You want to what? Yeah, go to a good university. What more important than getting into a good university is what? Well, getting a what? Right, getting a good job. Well, before that, it's graduating from that university. Graduating, okay? Especially like when I was at Berkeley, about 25% of students didn't graduate. They did not graduate. They dropped out. Bottom. Oh, because they don't care about your grade? I see. America's a little different. It's kind of easy to get in, but it's a little bit harder to finish. And also, like, you know, it's not just finishing school, but it's also like getting a job and doing good in your job, right? It's like getting married. Getting married is easy. What's hard?
Breaking up with you, like, not breaking up.
Not breaking up, but staying married.
Right. Staying married.
Right. Breaking up, getting married is kind of easy, right? But staying married, oh, 힘들어. Okay? You know, it's a constant work. You have to. No, I love my marriage. Okay. I'm just acting. Okay. Yes. Wink, wink. Okay. Any relationship, it's like having a baby. It's like woohoo, babies. When you first have a baby, it's a big celebration, right? But then, like, you know, after you clean as poo for like, like 20,000 times.
At 3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Yes.
I clean my sister's diaper.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Anyway, so what researchers found out was that, you know, in order to like be successful in life, it's not just math and reading scores. There's other things like character. Okay, and so let me show you. Okay, let's read this together. Okay, who's next? You cannot talk? Okay. Alright, you don't have to. Can you talk or not talk? Okay, but can you come up front? Okay. Alright, Mr. Chen, come on up. Alright, tell the audience, stand up. Tell the audience who you are. My name is.
My name is Choi Lim. I'm from China, and my major is political science.
Yes. Do not ask him about kidneys. He doesn't know about any heart cell. Okay.
From where?
According to a KIP report.
According to KIP report, only 33% of students who graduate from a KIPP KIPP middle school 10 or more years ago graduate from a 4-year college. As KIPP founder Levin watched the progress of those KIPP alumni. He noticed something curious. The students who persisted in courage were not necessarily the ones who had excelled academically at KIPP. They were the ones with exceptional character strengths, like optimism and persistence and social intelligence. They were the ones who were able to recover from a bad grade and resolve to do better next time.
Stop. Good for you. Okay. Yes. I love Cherin, and as you know, like we also talk about multiculturalism in Korea. So sometimes we make some jokes. Okay, but I mean in a very positive way. Okay, for those in the audience. Okay. Now, let me read the rest, okay? So the ones with character, they were the ones who can bounce back, okay? To bounce back from a fight with their parents, to resist the urge to go out to the movies and stay home and study instead, to persuade professors to give them extra help after class. Those skills weren't enough on their own to earn students a BA, but for young people without the benefit of a lot of family resources, blah blah blah, they seemed an indispensable part of making it to graduation day. Stop. Do you understand? So it's not just getting like high reading and writing scores in junior high. The ones who succeeded in life were the ones who had character, strong character. Okay? So instead of just going to a movie and just playing with their friends, they were stay home, study for a test. Did you do that? When there was a big test, did you just, you what? Definitely not. So you played? Oh, okay. Why? Why did you play instead of studying? Because you're so stressed? 너무 힘들어?
Yep.
Okay. This was in high school or college?
High school.
Okay. How about now in college?
College. Every day I play on it. We study.
Oh, okay. So you study too?
Yeah, study at night.
Okay. That's fine. So at least you have a balance, right? But do you know students who they're just so stressed, they just don't want to study?
Yep.
Yeah? So explain. Life is all study?
Yeah, life is all study.
Okay.
Just do nothing unrelated to study.
Oh, okay. So he does say he works hard.
Yeah, his father is.
Okay. You know other people that they don't really have they're not really focused on their studies, or they're all hard workers. Okay, but you might know people like that in the past, right? They just if there's a problem, they don't know how to deal with it. Okay, so anyway, so the KIPP schools decided that we're not gonna just measure your reading and writing scores. We're also gonna measure your character. Okay, so let's click on this. You need to read my lecture notes. Okay, I email this to you every week, so you can look at these nice graphs ahead of time. Blah 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 blah. Okay, who's next? Come on up, click down. This is a famous KIPP character report card. Okay, every student, every quarter is measured by 6 teachers on these criteria. Ooh, handsome man, stand up. Okay, what's your name?
My name is Kota Kawano from Japan.
Tokyo?
No, Fukuoka.
Oh, well,
Southern part.
oh yes, welcome to Korea.
Thanks.
Yes, 하자마시다.
안녕하세요.
Okay, now let's talk about what is important. Can you read that for me? The first one you need is what?
Zest.
Zest. Zest. What does zest mean? Passion, enthusiasm, right? There are 3 components. One,
Activity participates to shows and
it shows enthusiasm.
enthusiasm.
Stop. Everybody say enthusiasm.
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 That's
Okay.
difficult area to
Yes.
pronounce.
And then he taught me how to say
생각.
Senkaku.
Yeah.
Senkaku.
Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah. And then number 3,
Invigorates others.
right? You see, not only do you have passion, you give other people passion, right? So, Kota,
Right.
highest is 5. 5 is perfect passion, 1 no passion.
Yeah.
Okay? How would you rank yourself? Do you actively participate? 1 to 5. What are you?
Probably 4.
4. Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Not sure.
How about you? 3.5. Lower, so you're higher than him. Now, shows enthusiasm. What are you?
Probably 4 either.
Okay. How about you? He's like, okay. I want more passion. Average passion. Okay, average passion. Number 3, you invigorate others. Others. Do you invigorate other people? 1 to 5.
I'm not sure, but maybe 3, 4,
3. Okay. Does he invigorate you? Or like, he takes my energy away. Does he give you energy or subtract energy? What? Okay. It's a 4
I'm writing
then.
essay, yeah.
Oh, my well dressed. He gives me this.
Oh.
Yes. He's so luscious. He makes me so. Right, he encourages us.
Thank you.
He's a 5 or 4.5. Okay? Okay. Arigato. Okay. Alright, who's next? Okay, that's you. Come on up. Yes. Okay. What's your name?
My name is Yunhan.
Yunhan.
Yeah.
Next one. What is
Great.
grit? What does grit mean? What does grit sound like? Being tough. Okay? It's like in the old movies, like when you have to do susur, there's no yak, right? So you just get a big, get rock, like a piece of wood. Right, that's grit. Do you understand? Right, being tough. Okay? Now, number 4.
4. Finishes whatever he or she begins.
Right, don't give up. You're tough. What are you? 1 to 5. Do you always finish?
Yeah, always finish.
Okay, alright, it's a 5. Okay, now number 5. Try.
5. Tries very hard even after experiencing failure.
Right, so you failed or you 떨어졌어. Do you get up or do you stay 떨어져? All the time?
Almost time.
Okay, so he's maybe a 4. Okay? Now, how about you? Do you always get up or do you stay down? Okay, he's a 2.5. Okay, now number 6. Works?
Number 6. Works independently with focus.
Do you work independently or do you need mommy to tell you something?
I work independently.
Okay, you're 5 all the time?
Yeah, almost.
He's a tough guy. Good job. Yay. Let's give him some namu as a prize.
He's hiding his claws.
Yes, he's hiding his claws. You understand? Grit. Tough. Nothing's gonna bring me down, honey. It's like that country song. Okay? Alright, and the number 7 is self-control. Okay? 7. Do you always come to class prepared? Yes or no? I think on this one we're very low. Okay, 3.5. You pay attention. You resist distraction. Yes, no smartphones, right? Okay, everyone's a 5 here. Okay, you follow directions.
Yes, of course.
So you want that guy who raced past me in the car? Okay, all right. And you get to work right away rather than procrastinating. Procrastinating means you make 핑계. Instead of you have assignment, instead of doing work, you say I want to play this game or watch TV. Anything besides homework. 1 point. He's number 1. How about you? Are you 1 or 5?
Give me
3. Okay. How about you, Mr. Che? 1. Okay. So you guys don't have self-control. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then one more self-control. There's optimism, gratitude, and also self-control, right? That means number 11. Who's next? Okay, can you read this for me? What's your name?
My name is Taeyang.
Aya.
Yep. Self-control.
Yes,
Interpersonal.
number 11.
Yep. Remains calm, even when criticized or otherwise provoked.
Are you
What?
calm?
Wow. Yeah, I'm calm.
Okay. You're 5? Okay.
My face. I'm Jesus.
Yes, so he's Jesus. Or you're like that, what's that, younger brother. 형부의 놀부. 여기도
Yeah.
밥 주세요.
No, I'm Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Truly following.
The truly found, but Jesus would be a perfect buy, right? Right. Okay, perfect buy. Good for you.
That's very good.
Let's get more volunteers. I'll slap you. See what happens.
Do you want to test?
No, I don't. I'm not a perfect buy. I'm usually a fighter. I remember when I was playing golf on the golf, we were doing like practice, right? And then this big tall white guy came up and slapped me.
Oh, for what?
And then, well, my first impulse was to hit him back, but then I controlled myself and I asked him the same thing, like, "Why did you hit me?" And he said, "Why did you take my why did you take my, golf club?" And I said, "This is not your golf club." Right, it's mine. Your golf club is over there.
Are you calm?
What?
Are you in calm? Calm.
Oh, yes, I was calm. Right. So, because at first I thought about being angry, but I thought, I was actually more curious. Why you hit me? Okay. Because I don't know you. I didn't do anything to you. And then he's like, "Oh, you're right. This is not mine," because he thought I was a young punk, just taking his golf club, right?
So, did he pay?
No, he just apologized because I wasn't a lawyer back then. Okay. And then, but the thing is, like sometimes people act without thinking. He's white, I'm Asian. We could have had a race riot. All you Asians follow me. And then here bring all the white guys and because that's actually what happens in riots. You see, like there's two people and then they bring all their people. You see, and a lot of it's just misunderstanding. Okay, that's why it's very important to remain calm. Okay, and you're polite. Number 14, keep your temper in check. Okay, this is actually very important, I think, in Korea because I remember reading did you hear about the Kodae student who did something bad to his ex-girlfriend?
Yeah,
Or girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, okay? Did you hear about that? Yeah. So there was a guy at Kodae and he used to date this girl who's also from Kodae. Yeah. And the Kodae girl said I don't like you anymore, right? So he got rejected. And what happened? Yes. He murdered her. Do you see? And so it seems like this guy's obviously smart to go to Kodae. He got high student score. But, he didn't have self-control. Do you see? He was not calm. He could not keep his temper in check. Okay? So, Kodae guy, and I think I think not just Korea, but maybe in other countries too. Same problem. Explain. Come on up. Okay, so explain the story. Okay.
The guy is very good at study and go to university, but he have a girlfriend with the same university, but the girlfriend is very poor, so he give up her school and go to make money for pay the girlfriend's fee.
Yeah, tuition.
Yeah, but then when the girlfriend graduate from the school, the girlfriend break up their relationship,
Oh.
and the guy is very angry
Angry.
and
He gets a knife and stabs her.
and get a knife and kill.
Kills her.
No kill, but he wanna kill the girl, but the girl is not dead.
Okay.
So, and the girl's parents, so the guys said, I have paid a lot of money for you, but you but you reject me. It's not fair. So I'm very angry. So I want to kill.
That's not a good way to get your money back. You would actually have to pay more money. Right. I mean, if that happens, what would you do? Because it does seem, the girl was mean to him, right? He worked so hard, paid all the tuition. Imagine, you drop from another school, so your campus couple, you pay all your 학비 for your girlfriend, right? And then she dates somebody who's like what more 멋있어, like Chetin, okay? What are you gonna do to your girlfriend? Are you gonna murder her or what?
I can't.
You're what?
I can't just alone.
You're cry by yourself? Oh, why don't you show your face so the girls don't want to call you? Such a romantic man. He doesn't have any, young then. Okay?
He's the man of sacrifice.
Yeah. Get some balls. Don't cry. Anyway, but maybe you can actually like maybe talk to her parents and say like, I gave her a lot of money. I think this is unfair. Can you at least give some of my money back? Okay? I think there would have been a better way. The point is that you need to control your temper. You need to think. What is the best way to get revenge? Okay? Right, before you act, okay? And also they say that, and I think this is true, that the best revenge is to live well. Do you understand? So, so instead of like, so if that girlfriend screws you, then say, forget, I'm just going to get a better girlfriend and live a happy life. That is the best form of revenge. Don't be so like, don't just regret the past. You understand? Right, I know. That's why you need number 15. What is the next one? Say optimism.
Catch over frustration and setback quickly.
Right, and then number 16.
Believes that effort will improve his or her future.
Right, so 15 gets over frustration and setback. Your girlfriend dumped you.
Yeah. And I call.
Are you gonna cry all day or are you gonna get up? Are you 5 or 1?
3.5.
3.5.
Always 3.5.
Okay. Okay. How about you? Your girlfriend dumps you. Okay. The love of your life. Do you move on? Are you number 5, or you're gonna cry out? You're gonna cry for the next 2 years?
3.5.
3.5. Okay. Oh wow. So this is actually hard for most people. There was a. Well, I hope my wife is not watching this.
Yeah.
I did have a 첫사랑. Okay. We'll talk about this when it's not recording, okay? But I did have a 첫사랑. It only took me 4 years to overcome. Yes. But the point is that's why this is very important. Optimism, which is that, there's always failure, there's always setback, but you can overcome it. Okay? Even if you made a big mistake, that guy made a big mistake, right? Leaving school to pay for his girlfriend's tuition and being betrayed. Okay?
They give up his own school life, and when the girlfriend break up the relationship, he lost everything.
Right, so he lost everything. But, right, so you have to ask him, are you a 1 or a 5? Is your life over? That's number 1, right? Or, no, your life is not over. You can start your life again. Start from the beginning. Do you see? It's like, imagine, for me it's kind of like after the Korean War, right? South Korea lost everything, right? But they just said, let's just start over again. We can build a better life. Do you see? And so after the war, people just built a better life. Same thing with China. You had the Great Famine, you had the Cultural Revolution. It seems like in China, every 20 years, 20 million people die. Terrible history, right? But instead of just giving up, the people, the government, the people said, we can do better. Do you see? So now they're doing better than ever, right? So you can always, that's why number 15 is so important. Whether you are a KIP student or China or Korea, you need to overcome frustration and setback. So this student was a 4.33. Wow, that's pretty good. So he got a lot of high grades. He was ranked by, he was evaluated by every teacher. Okay? And then they do this every quarter, and they talk it over with a student and a parent, both their reading and writing scores, and also their character. Okay? So if he's a person who's having a very hard time, moving from rejection, then we talk about it, the teachers, right? And say like, look, life is not over. You need to learn to move on. Okay? Or you need to stop killing your girlfriend. Okay? Or don't think about that. You need to have some kind of self-control. And so imagine if they had this in the student's high school. He probably would have a lot better life. Do you see? So why study so hard and go to Kodae and end up going to jail, right? Maybe it's better to study a little bit less, but develop this, right, character a little bit more. And so maybe instead of Kodae, you might go to what? Hanyang or Korean-대학교, okay? So maybe instead of top 3 school, just go to like a top 10 school or even a top 15 school. But if you have this, you will succeed. You're gonna get a good, you're gonna work hard, make money, meet a nice woman. Okay? After you get rejected and betrayed, the second woman will hopefully be nicer, make lots of babies, have a good life. Okay? All right. So think about this. Okay? So we want to learn so we can make Korea better, or China and Japan. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Now. Okay. I want to go over we had one paper. Okay, Kota. He has no self-control. He has to go to the bathroom. Okay. Okay, we had one student paper from Kota about Japan. Okay, as I mentioned before, especially the second half of the semester, we're going to be discussing multiculturalism in Korea. Now, who wants to speak English? Okay, come on up. The price is right. Okay. Yes. What's your name?
Che.
Okay.
As all we have discussed about South Korean multicultural policies, other Asian nations which also have fundamental system as ethnic homogeneity, nations also sometimes have to face with difficult issues whether they should be active to accept migrants or not.
How would you fix it to accept migrants?
Yeah, migrants.
Okay. Anyway, blah blah blah.
Blah.
Let's go to Japan. Okay. So there's a big issue in Japan because why? As Japanese companies are required to.
Is it talking about that wheel?
Okay.
No?
Okay. Let's read this. According to Japan Today.
According to Japan Today, Japanese government will begin to approach foreign immigrants actively in near future. The governmental aim of lifting foreign immigrants is to have enough number of the workers to construct the facilities for Tokyo Olympic in 2020.
Right, 2020.
2020.
2020 is fine. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Japan Today, that's a newspaper, right?
That's like an English newspaper.
Right, so you need to capitalize it.
How
Today.
is that?
Because, or people are going to think
Yeah,
it's Japan Today these days. Okay? It's a newspaper named Japan Today. Okay? Go on,
Japan
next.
Today.
Because you didn't know that, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Several civilian groups against governmental policy of lifting of immigration show strong protests to let government stop running their policy. What they concern the most is that
is number one.
The job placement opportunities for Japanese will be decreased. 2. Japanese society that has been managed by Japanese for a long time might be destroyed by increased foreign workers. 3. Since Japanese people have an image that too many foreigners can be a huge cause of chaos.
I wonder what the next word would be.
Cause of increasing crime rate. So they show their strong protest. 4. Some of them purely hate foreigners.
Okay. Now, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now, let's read this. Biggest reason is in existence.
The biggest reason is an existence of huge number of the people called NEET. NEET stands for not in education, not in employment and training. What they do daily is just staying home and do nothing productive. Do not know nothing. Since salary payment in Japan is much higher than most of other nations, foreigners might see a chance to earn money to support for their families. If civilian groups that are against governmental policy to lift off accepting foreigners immigration, the people called NEET, which have been sleeping as big labor resource, must be encouraged to appear in society and work to make up for less number of the workers.
Stop. Okay, stop. I thought this was a very interesting issue because it really pertains to Korea too. Because in both Japan and Korea, I think especially in Korea, we have many anti-multicultural groups that do not want migration. Okay? And some of them are just, maybe they're just mean, they're just anti-migrant. But then other people, they might give good reasons. So what's a good reason for opposing migration? Right, opposing. Kota gave a very good example, right? Kota saying that so he's saying Japan needs more cheap labor to make the 2020 Olympics, okay? And so to get more labor, government thinks, well, the obvious solution is we should import more labor from other countries. Do you understand? This is actually what the United States did after Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina, right? 2005. They didn't, most of the people in New Orleans are black, and government thought, they don't want to do cheap labor. So they imported Mexicans, people from Latin America, to come all the way to New Orleans to rebuild the city. You understand? And well, same thing with Germany, right? They imported Turkish workers and also Korean nurses during the 1970s. That's why there are a lot of Koreans in Germany today. Okay? But Kota's saying maybe this is not a good idea. Why? Because Japan has many what? Japan has many. It starts with an N. NEET. Come on. And NEET stands for people who are what? Not in education, employment, and training. Isn't that? Yeah. So do you understand? So they're not studying. They're not working. They're not training. Okay. What are they doing? Was that you? No. Okay. Last year. Okay.
So they are wasting air.
Wait, so are these people, did they graduate from high school? And did they graduate from college or not really?
Already, because
They already graduated from college?
because people, even though university school doesn't attend university, is not counted as a need. So as long as you have nothing to do as a worker or as a student, then you can be counted as a need.
So are most needs, are they college educated or not college educated?
It depends, on one hand, sometimes, people who graduated from Tokyo University becomes a need.
Okay.
That's an unavoidable reason or reason.
Okay. That's fine. Next time you want to talk, stay up front. The audience can hear. Now, do you know people like that? Yes, they don't do anything. Okay. Right, I think that's actually a big social problem because, especially in our department, political science, because political science graduates, we have the lowest employment rate. That's because none of us speak English. Do you understand? You will be the 30% that's employed. Yay! Okay? 30%. But the 70%, they're not employed. Okay? Because they don't have any skills. Or else they keep on taking the promotion, right? They keep failing. Anyway, that's the civil service exam. So there are a lot of people that they don't have jobs. Okay? They're not working. Okay? And one reason why they're not working is because they only want what? They only want really good jobs. Did you see? That's the problem in Korea. They just want good jobs. How about in Japan? Is it because they want just good jobs, or they just don't want any job?
They just, I think most of them doesn't have an energy or to have a job.
So they just
They
lost
just
hope.
don't- they just don't work.
They just don't have any hope or optimism. They don't have the character.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And so Kota is saying that, well, instead of giving up on the NEET, or instead of giving up on all the 70% of poli-sci graduates who don't have jobs, maybe we should what? We should maybe kind of like maybe encourage them, pressure them, maybe kick them to to work to get a job. You understand? So maybe think of a way like in the old days, like in Japan, everybody was just drafted into the army, right? And so like maybe the government can just draft everybody. You either have to serve in the army, or you have to work in the Tokyo Olympics. Choose. That way everybody has to do some work, and then everybody will have some work experience. Same thing in Korea, right? I think at least in Korea, like at least all the guys, they all have a little work experience because why? They have to serve 2 years in the army. So everybody has at least some work experience. And then so after the army, then they become unemployed. So like they serve 2 years in the army, they come back to college, and then they become unemployed. Okay? But according to Kota, maybe like if you cannot get a really good job, you should just do what? Yeah, just get a what they call a 3D job. What's a 3D job? That's dirty, dangerous. Yeah, difficult, right? But just because it's difficult, why not? Why should you not do it? You should do it. You need to make money. You see? And so Kota's saying that we should have less migration, more 우리 사람들, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, our country, our people should do that work, not get more immigrants. That's his argument. Okay? Do you agree? What do you think? Or do you think that we should allow, or do you think that no, we should have just open borders? People should go wherever they want. If people want to go to Korea, that's fine. If Koreans want to go to Mexico or Japan, that's fine. We should just have totally open borders. Do you understand? So what do you think? Okay, Shota, what do you think? Do you think we should have open borders, or we should just hire our own national people, our own race? Okay, so focus on our own race, or let anybody work, let anybody come to Japan.
I think it's just own race.
Why? Are you racist?
Yes.
Okay.
Really?
That's why he's wearing a white pants. He's a white
No. But because there are many needs of free part-time jobs also first. So many Japanese people don't have some Japanese people don't have own jobs, so I think own race, but I think
So
own race.
Japanese people
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. How about you? What's your name? Hello, audience.
Lee.
Okay, Mr. Lee. Do you think that anybody should be allowed to Korea to work, or do you think that no, Koreans first? Do you understand? Yeah. You say Koreans first, no 조선족, or do you say we love anybody can come? Yeah, it doesn't why discriminate? They want to work here, let them work here.
I think anybody come to here.
Really?
It's because almost because Korean have to competition in Korea.
So you're saying Koreans need more competition?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying that you don't like. How about his argument? He's saying, well, maybe people need more competition? Do they need more competition?
More than competition, right? Encouragement is more needed.
Okay, so Coca saying they need more encouragement.
There's more like parasite.
Okay. So maybe, so Coca saying that maybe they need more encouragement, and maybe one way to encourage is to kind of like, train them and save the jobs for them. Okay? That's actually a very controversial issue. I think most people are saying training them is fine, but saving the job for them doesn't seem right. Do you understand? Because if I'm the boss, I want to give a job to who?
Someone willing.
Well, the hardest worker. The hardest worker or the best worker, right? So why should I be forced to give my job to my country when maybe the foreigner will work harder? Do you understand? So that's a big issue in many, many countries. Should I give it to the best worker or should I give it to my countryman first? I'm the teacher. I don't say. I want to encourage you to say. Okay? What do you think?
I think the same idea with free because many of children dog like my parents or my family come to Korea to work for the 3D job, just the
3D job.
deep dirty, difficult and dangerous job. And but the Korean people they don't want to do the 3D job, so the job will give the boss will give the job to the
One who works harder.
just like dog people.
But but Mr. Che saying, Mr. Kupta saying, we need to encourage, Koreans, our countrymen. How can you encourage them?
But I think the competition is the dongi to the curriculum. If don't have
motivation.
if don't have the competition, they don't want to improve themselves for the work what they can do. So
That's an interesting question. I want to ask the rest of you. When you think of the word competition, does that give you 동기 or does it give you anti-동기?
When I think competition,
Yes.
I first think of
So 너무 힘들어.
Yeah, that
So-
that motivation.
So it's the opposite of motivation. It's
Yeah.
anti-motivation. It's discouragement.
Yes, it's discouraged.
Discouragement. How about you, Mr. Lee? When you think of competition, does it give you 동기 or anti-동기? What's the opposite of 동기? No, 한국말로. I know that. Their English is pretty good. What's discouragement in Korean? The opposite of 희망. Oh, 절망. Okay. Okay. So does competition give you 희망 or 절망?
I think I'm boss.
You're
If
both?
I boss, I give the competition for motivation.
Okay.
But acceptor 받는 사람?
Okay, the one who receives the
yeah, who
competition.
receive the competition, they feel that is discouraged.
Okay. So you're gonna change your position? So at first Mr. Lee said competition is good. We should have open borders. You can work wherever you want. But then later Mr. Lee said, well, maybe that's gonna discourage me. Okay? Because so much competition, I don't have a chance. Okay? So you have to think about how, what can government do, what can society do to give encouragement? Okay? Does that mean government should limit competition? Only give a monopoly to countrymen? Or is there a way that we can combine competition with more hope? Do you understand? The extreme example of competition would be a country like Malaysia. You heard of Malaysia, right? Malaysians have a monopoly on university and government jobs. So many Chinese people are very angry. So they leave Malaysia, they go to like Singapore or something. You heard about that, right? Right. Because they think it's just not fair. Okay? Yeah, monopoly. Right, no competition. But they do that because the Malays feel like I cannot compete with Chinese. You know, they just too much. Yeah, they work too hard. They're too smart or they're too rich. Okay? But they're just so much smarter than the Malays. Okay? And so we cannot, you know, unless the government gives us like monopoly, what they call reservation, I don't have any hope to get into university. Do you understand? But in, you know, so that's like extreme example. Okay? America is the other example where like, you know, like Harvard, MIT, they don't care what country you're from. They just want the best and brightest. Yes.
I already, you know, the minority people sometimes get some priorities on the case to get into good companies, university.
That's true, but well, there's a difference. For example, like, but then a lot of the minorities, they go to like easy majors, like, you know, like not political science, but like sociology, or like women's studies, or like ethnic studies. I don't know. You study how to be a woman. Okay, shh. I don't want them to get angry at me. Okay.
So
But usually, like, yes, you were saying.
right, you know, right. With medical school and medical school is one kind of medical department to get to, right?
Yes, but then there's some affirmative action, but then there's some like pure science, like health tech and MIT, where they really is super hard. It's really the best and brightest. Okay, and then it'd be like, so think of places like MIT or companies like Microsoft, right? Who's the new president of Microsoft? Do you know? Is he a white guy? No, where is he from? He's an immigrant from India. Right. So the new CEO of Microsoft is, I think, Nadali. He came to America as a UAccent.
Oh,
Right.
the new CEO, BlackBerry, also from India.
Yeah, but BlackBerry's not that good. But Microsoft is still a big deal, right? I mean, they used to be like the #1 company in the world, okay? And so like that's a really big deal from India. He made a front page headlines everywhere. Maybe the BlackBerry made page 10, okay? Anyway, but the point is that, you know, companies like Microsoft believe that competition is good. We want the best in the world. Do you understand? But then Kota's saying maybe competition is not good. It's too discouraging. Do you see? So I want you to really think hard. And next week we're doing current events. I want us to talk about maybe multiculturalism. Okay, I want you to discuss issues like this. We're gonna invite the multicultural people to speak on week 9, and then hear them and ask like, do you agree, or do you think that no, we want to be more like California, Silicon Valley? Okay, or not? Okay, okay. All right. So that's basically it. Let me just. Oh, and also, did everyone do the survey? Or no?
I did.
Okay, good for you. Do the survey for extra credit. So do it, okay? I emailed that to you, right?
I did that.
Oh, good for you. And then I want to discuss I want to discuss some of the questions and all these issues, right? So for example, like, what do you think about multicultural society? What do you think about reverse discrimination? For example, do you think we should give extra points to multicultural? Yeah, I emailed you guys, right? So I want to talk more about this. So for next week, when everybody's doing weekly summary, tell me what you think about multiculturalism. Okay, pros and cons. Think about, and also things that like Kota said. Do you want competition, or do you want more reservation? Okay. Okay. Any questions? Okay, we're basically done. So everybody wrote weekly summary. That's great. So can anyone share one really interesting thing that you want to share with the class? Okay, well, maybe next week. Okay, then we're done. Thank you.